Imagine that you are in public, or at a family dinner, or perhaps at work. Someone makes fun of you, insults you, or says something meant to make you look bad in front of everyone. Time stops for a second. Everyone around you is looking at you, waiting to see what you'll do. Your chest gets tight and your hands start to sweat. What if I told you that your reaction at that precise time might radically reverse the situation, turning you from someone who endures humiliation to someone who is respected? To be humiliated is a test. It's not enough of what someone says. How you react is also important. And if you answer correctly, you don't just get through the situation, you earn respect. Today, I'm going to give you a 7-step plan based on old Stoic wisdom that will give you the grace, strength, and confidence to deal with humiliation. Wait until the very end, as the last step is an important one that many people never use. Number 1. Stay calm, even when it hurts. Stay calm is the first and most important step. One of the most influential Stoic thinkers, Epictetus, is credited for assuring us that it is not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. It is the intention of the person who humiliates you to elicit a response from you, whether it is hostility, tears, or defensiveness. They should not be given that power. Please take a few deep breaths instead. Wait a moment. Allow stillness to permeate the area. It demonstrates your strength while also providing you with the opportunity to gather your thoughts. Consider that for a moment. In times like this, people anticipate pandemonium to result. They are expecting you to lose your composure or to argue with them. Staying calm allows you to defy their assumptions and instantly swing the balance of power in your favor. You have power over your mind, not over events that occur outside of yourself. Marcus Aurelius stated in Meditations, "Make this a reality, and you will discover your strength." Acquiring control is the key to maintaining composure. Not only do you silence your critic when you conquer your emotions, but you also gain the quiet admiration of everyone who is watching you accomplish this. You convey the unsaid message that I am in control when you stay calm. Because the person who attempted to humiliate you uses your reaction as a source of power, this composure makes them less powerful. They will not be able to achieve their goal without it. However, staying calm involves controlling your inner conversation as well as your outer demeanor. During times like this, it is important to keep in mind another principle that Marcus Aurelius imparted to his followers. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. The offense does not determine your feelings, rather your feelings are formed by how you interpret the insult. One should ask themselves, does the opinion of this person define who I am? The answer is never affirmative. Let's be clear about this. Staying calm does not mean repressing your emotions. Putting them to productive use is what it means. Bring yourself back to earth rather than reacting on impulse. Visualize your composure as a shield that stands between you and the words that are fired in your direction. What makes tranquility so attractive is the way it spreads outward. Other people who are watching will observe your capacity to maintain your composure, and that is what they will remember about you. Who is it that is conspiring to bring you down? Your unwavering demeanor will make them appear insignificant in comparison, and their efforts will be fruitless. Maintaining composure sets the stage for everything else that we are going to talk about. If you take this first move toward reclaiming authority, it will set the stage for how the issue will develop in the future. Remember that your composure is your strength, and take a moment to calm down and stabilize yourself. Number 2, assess the intent. Assess the intent behind the insult after you've calmed down. Is it a joke that was made without any consideration and ended up being a failure? Or was it a deliberate attempt to cause you harm or humiliate you? We suffer more in imagination than in reality, Seneca written at one point in time. Occasionally the insult is not as nasty as it appears to be. Display grace even if the joke is delivered poorly. Moving on with your life and laughing it off is a sign of strength. It is time to take charge, however, if the intention is to cause harm. Believe me when I say that having this level of clarity is essential to shifting the situation in your favor. Understanding intent helps you decide what your next step will be. You need to look beyond the words themselves in order to determine the intent. Pay attention to the manner in which the insult was delivered, as well as the tone and body language of the speakers. Following the utterance of the comment, did the individual laugh nervously? Were they, possibly at your expense, attempting to make other people laugh off? Or did they have a sneer on their face or speak in a condescending manner, making it obvious that they were trying to provoke or degrade you? It is possible to respond appropriately if you have an understanding of intent. Give a generous response if the joke was given in a stupid manner or with poor delivery. A smile, a chuckle, or even a light-hearted response can help to diffuse the tension and demonstrate that you are confident enough to choose not to take things personally. However, your answer needs to be different if the insult was made with the intent to injure or shame you. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. It is said by Marcus Aurelius in his book Meditations. This in no way absolves them of responsibility either. Rather, it means selecting a response that exalts you and reduces the amount of effort they're making to destroy you. A question that is calm and direct, such as, "What did you mean by that?" logically can reveal somebody's true intentions. They frequently rely on the reaction of the crowd to support their behavior when they attempt to humiliate other individuals. You are forcing them to justify their behavior by shifting the spotlight back on them, which may cause them to feel uncomfortable or even regret they did what they did. Because it prevents you from responding to a circumstance that might not deserve it, this step is essential. Additionally, it prepares you to maintain your composure in the event that the insult was intentional. It is important to keep in mind that clarity gives you the upper hand, and when you comprehend people's intentions, you have the ability to steer the situation in your advantage. Number 3, respond with grace and confidence. It is also important to remember that Marcus Aurelius advised us to be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. When someone purposefully hurts you with their comments, the worst thing you can do is let yourself be brought down to their level. Instead, answer with a state of serenity and confidence that is aggressive. The power of a straightforward remark such as, "That's an interesting perspective, care to explain," can be tremendously effective. How come? Mostly due to the fact that they are now under the microscope to justify their behavior. The vast majority of the time, they will fail. Their attempt to embarrass you is unsuccessful, and you emerge from the situation looking even more cool and self-assured than before. Grace in the face of adversity is a hallmark of leadership, and people appreciate those who exhibit it. You demonstrate that you're not just in charge of yourself, but also of the situation by responding with grace and confidence. Instead of reacting emotionally, the most important thing to do here is to respond strategically. The tension is frequently alleviated by a reaction that is elegant. In the event that someone makes a negative comment about your work, for instance, you could respond with composure by saying, "I appreciate your input. Let's discuss it further after this." Not only does this deflect the insult, but it also frames you as someone who handles disputes in a mature and professional manner. An insightful observation is made by Seneca, who says, "It is a great man who can treat his enemy with the same consideration he shows his friends." Maintaining your cool and treating the individual with respect, even when they have shown you none, demonstrates that you are able to rise above the insult and subsequently exhibit your character. On the other side, having confidence is a result of being aware of who you are and understanding what you believe in. Whenever someone makes an effort to bring you down, they are putting your sense of self-worth to the test. A self-assured response conveys the following message: "I am aware of my worth, and the words you have spoken do not diminish it." Changing the comment into an opportunity for discourse is one method that could be considered more direct, while yet displaying grace. Examples of phrases that could be used are, "That is an interesting critique. Can you elaborate on what you mean?" Alternatively, "Thank you for sharing your thoughts. I would enjoy hearing your comments for how to make things better." Eliminate the hurt caused by the insult while carefully shifting the blame back onto the person who made the offense. The subsequent events are very revealing. In the event that their opinion was made in good faith, this may pave the way for a discussion that is productive. However, if their intention was to cause harm, they are likely to fall when they realize that they have been called out without any kind of confrontation. You have become the master of the story, regardless of the circumstances. Not only can grace and confidence safeguard you, but they also serve as a leading example for everyone around you. The people who are able to observe your response will be impressed by your ability to handle the issue with calm, and their respect for you will increase as a result. Always keep in mind that you do not have to win the debate in order to win the moment. The ability to have the final say is not the hallmark of leadership. Rather, it is the ability to leave a lasting impression of dignity and strength. Number 4. Use humor to your advantage. A covert weapon is humor when utilized appropriately. It has the ability to disarm even the most belligerent critic. The philosopher Epictetus advised, "Do not explain your philosophy, put it into action." Humor is a representation of strength and resiliency. Suppose someone makes fun of your physical appearance. If you want to avoid a defensive response, you could smile and say something like, "Thank you for noticing. I had the intention of doing something daring today. Where do we go from here?" As a result of the crowd laughing with you rather than against you, the one who attempted to embarrass you appears to be an idiot. Humor is a great way to diffuse stress and demonstrate that you are unshaken. Control can be exerted in a manner that is both subtle and forceful. A tense situation can be transformed into one that is light-hearted and even a source of fellowship through the expert application of humor. It is not about ignoring the insult. Rather, it is about demonstrating that you are too confident to allow it to be a negative experience for you. I'll give you another illustration. If someone makes a snarky comment about your mistakes, you may answer with a fun smile and say, "Well, at least I'm consistent." In a manner that is more endearing than defensive, this kind of reaction brings the focus back to you as the person who is being addressed. It is important to remember that Seneca once said, "A good character is the only guarantee of everlasting carefree happiness." Showing that your pleasure is not contingent on the acceptance or disapproval of other people is something you can accomplish through the use of comedy. On the contrary, it is a manifestation of your inner fortitude and unwavering self-assurance. One of the most attractive aspects of humor is that it has the ability to win over an audience while also disarming your critic. Individuals have a perception of you as someone who is secure, agreeable, and composed when they observe that you are able to laugh at yourself or at the circumstance. The individual who intended to embarrass you, on the other hand, can end up appearing petty or overly serious in the end. Note, however, that the purpose of humor should always be to diffuse the situation rather than to intensify it. Avoid making remarks that could be construed as retaliatory, such as those that are caustic or cutting. It is not the intention to humiliate them in return. Rather, the objective is to rise above the circumstance with dignity. According to Epictetus, you should live out your philosophy. Humor is a demonstration of your ability to persevere. By doing so, you are conveying to the world that you will not allow negativity to adhere to you. It is a force that is calm and dignified, and it will speak volumes without you ever having to raise your voice. When you utilize humor in a way that is effective, you not only make the situation more enjoyable, but you also leave a lasting impression of someone who is self-assured, witty, and unfazed by the more minor dramas that you encounter in life. That, my friend, is the most powerful move an individual can make. Number 5. Control the narrative. Misunderstandings or plain lies can sometimes be the source of humiliation. Taking control of the narrative is crucial at this precise point. According to Seneca, a man is as miserable as he thinks he is. Don't let the comments of another person define who you are. Address the situation head-on, but do it without displaying any hostility. You could, for instance, say in a composed manner, "That is not entirely accurate. Here is the real story." You are not only able to defend yourself, but also project an air of authority when you correct the narrative in a calm manner. Clarity and confidence are highly valued by people, particularly during times of conflict. If you want to control the narrative, you need to recover your reality with poise and accuracy. Your objective is not to quarrel or over-explain when someone misrepresents you. Rather, it is to put the record straight in a manner that is both firm and succinct. Let's imagine that someone accuses you of being careless in the work that you do. Rather than reacting defensively, respond with coolness by saying something like, "I understand why you might think that, but here's what actually happened." You are able to negate the claim without adding to the extra drama by addressing the disinformation in a cool and collected manner. Seneca also imparts the following wisdom to us. If a man does not know to which port he sails, then there is no wind that is favorable. When you are aware of your truth and continue to be rooted in it, no amount of exaggeration or distortion can cause you to stray from your path. Your response, which is so precise and concise, not only clarifies the confusion, but also bolsters your reputation. Additionally, your calm manner conveys a subtle yet powerful message. You are not readily affected by things that are not true. Those who are observing you will remember how you conduct yourself, and as a result, their regard for you will grow. Additionally, it is essential to select your words with care. You should avoid becoming confrontational or overly defensive, because both of these behaviors can give the impression that you are guilty or insecure. As an alternative, you should adhere to the facts, maintain a steady tone, and speak as if you were addressing the entire audience. Taking this method will position you as a figure of authority who will not be damaged by charges that have no basis in reality. The ability to control the narrative is synonymous with taking ownership of your story. When someone makes an attempt to distort it, you should respond with the truth in a calm and confident manner. You will not only be able to maintain your dignity, but you will also be able to demonstrate to others how to deal with conflict in a way that is both strong and honorable. It is important to keep in mind that the way you exhibit yourself in times of difficulty has a significant impact on how people see you. Therefore, maintain your dignity, communicate your thoughts properly, and allow your truth to be heard. Number 6. Lead with actions, not words. What is the most effective method for putting naysayers to rest? Your actions should be able to speak for themselves. A quote attributed to Marcus Aurelius states, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." You should focus your efforts on excelling at what you do rather than obsessing on the insult that was directed at you. Make it clear to them that their words are meaningless by demonstrating your accomplishments. Even those who first ridiculed or questioned your ability to persevere will eventually come to recognize your tenacity. Words will never be able to have the same impact as actions. Put your attention on your development and make it your most audible answer. There is no denying the fact that actions speak louder and resound for a longer period of time than any words could possibly do. Whenever someone makes an attempt to humiliate you, they frequently do it in the hope of eliciting an emotional response or a verbal battle. Nevertheless, the capacity to rise above the negativity of naysayers and allow your accomplishments to speak for themselves is what actually disarms and silences such individuals. Imagine yourself in a public setting where someone makes fun of your ability. Instead of reacting with annoyance or being involved in a back and forth, you should concentrate on becoming an expert in your craft. Your progression becomes your silent retort, whether it be in the form of achieving excellent outcomes at work, pursuing a passion, or maturing as an individual. The words of wisdom spoken by Marcus Aurelius, "Be one," serve to remind us that the ultimate solution is to live a life of virtue and continually strive for greatness. By devoting your full attention and energy to your actions, you are not only demonstrating to those who are watching what you are genuinely capable of doing, but you are also proving your naysayers incorrect. Seneca continues by saying, "Delay is the greatest remedy for frustration." Instead of falling into the trap of quick emotional responses, you can avoid falling into the trap of focusing your energy on productive activities and instead construct something that will last. Over the course of time, the one who attempted to put you down will begin to lose significance, while your actions will continue to speak volumes. It is possible to apply this approach to every aspect of life. If someone makes a concern about your integrity, you should demonstrate your character by being honest and reliable on a consistent basis. If they make fun of your abilities, you should exceed their expectations by becoming an expert in your field. Allow each stride forward to be a declaration that is both subtle and powerful. I am superior to the words they have spoken. It is much more compelling to consider the ripple effect that results from leading with action. Your ability to persevere and remain determined motivates others who are around you. When someone is able to transform misfortune into a source of growth and success, many people revere them. If someone is going to try to embarrass you in the future, you should not waste your energy by engaging in a verbal sparring match. Rather than wasting that energy, you should put it toward developing into the finest possible version of yourself. Allow your life to serve as the final response, and you will be rewarded with respect in ways that words could never accomplish. Number 7. Choose your battles wisely. Finally, be aware of when it is appropriate to withdraw. It's not always worth fighting the battle. One more thing that Marcus Aurelius tells us is that you always have the option of having no opinion. The act of withdrawing from a situation is not a sign of weakness, but rather of prudence. You demonstrate that your serenity is more essential than their drama by disengaging from the situation. This uncomplicated demonstration of self-control conveys a profound message, which is that I value myself too much to waste my energy here. There are times when silence speaks louder than words. There is a lingering sense of strength and composure that you leave behind when you walk away with dignity. One of the most powerful strategies you can master is choosing your battles wisely. There are some insults and provocation that do not warrant your attention. In point of fact, there are certain circumstances that are designed to bring you back to a level that you have labored so hard to rise above. The sage advice of Marcus Aurelius, which states, "You always have the option of having no opinion," serves to remind us that the most significant power we possess is the ability to choose where to focus our energy. The act of walking away is not about avoiding conflict. Rather, it is about making peace your first priority and maintaining your inner strength. Think at it this way. If you choose not to engage with your critic, you are denying them the satisfaction they are looking for. They feed on your response, and if they do not receive it, their efforts are fruitless. Leaving with your head held high demonstrates that you are not defined by the words or actions of the other person. Seneca provides further support for this concept by stating, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." The need to always respond or counterattack arises from a desire to be validated or to be treated fairly. True power, on the other hand, comes from the realization that you do not have to win every dispute, since your value is not up for debate. Being disengaged does not mean that you are giving in. Rather, it indicates that you are reserving your energy for the things that are genuinely important. Some battles are pointless, exhausting, and useless in the end. When compared to exchanging insults or raising tension, walking away with dignity makes a much more lasting impact. If you choose not to fight, you are sending a very clear message to everyone who is watching. I have nothing to prove here. This is the kind of strength that people appreciate. It is calm, composed, and untouchable. Keep in mind that not every criticism is deserving of your attention, and not every slight calls for a reaction. If you choose your battles carefully, you will be able to save your energy for the times that really matter. Walk away, remain loyal to who you are, and let your quiet to speak volumes about the kind of person you are. Your answer is what defines you. Humiliation does not. Whether it's maintaining your composure, employing humor, or being aware of when to disengage, these steps equip you with the tools necessary to rise above and command respect. Epictetus tells us that no man is free who is not master of himself. If you are able to control your feelings, you will discover that no insult can affect you. don't forget to subscribe if you found this to be of any use to you. In this place, we transform ancient knowledge into instruments that can be used to address contemporary concerns. We appreciate you viewing, and please keep in mind that your answer is your power.